Welcome students to the second chapter of Geography of Class 7 Standard. The title of the chapter is Inside Our Earth. So let us go and try to understand more about what's inside the planet on which we are living, the Earth. We can call it our Earth because it's the planet which we are living and we belong to it, and we are custodians or we are stewards of the earth, and therefore we should know about our earth. Okay, so let's go and try to understand what's inside the earth. Have you ever imagined what is inside the earth? What's there inside the earth? Is it filled with some form of liquid, or is it solid, or is it semi-solid? Is it hollow inside, like when you take a rubber ball, or if you take a tennis ball and if you just cut it open and you see that inside that rubber ball or that tennis ball, you see that it's just nothing there, or that's what you call as hollow. So is the earth hollow inside, or is there some matter that is filled inside? And if it is filled with a particular matter, then what is the physical property of that? And these are the questions that scientists have asked over the past, and these are the questions we are going to think about in this chapter. So we need to know about our earth because we are belonging, or we are living on this earth. All right, so the earth is just like an onion. If you take an onion, it has concentric circular layers or peels of onion. So just like that, scientists have discovered through various ways that inside the earth it is not hollow, it is not empty, but it is filled up with matter. But the physical properties and the chemical properties and many other properties inside the earth, it has different properties. On the basis of that, they have divided the earth into different types. But the question is, how did they learn it? Did they dig deep into the earth? Did they go to the depth of the earth? Quite impossible to do that based on today's technological advancements. Also, nobody could go beyond 10 kilometers of depth. In fact, nobody has went at that depth. You could only drill that deep. So we could not go to the depths of the earth and understand what's there. But scientists have used certain waves called the seismic waves produced during earthquake times and all, or certain types of other waves. They have seen the deflection of these waves when it passes through inside the earth, and so they have studied and understood the density of the inner parts of the earth and the properties of the inner parts of the earth. So that's basically how scientists have succeeded to understand about the inner parts of the earth. So let's go dig deep into what are the different types of layers. Okay, so the earth basically have three main layers. The major three layers of the earth, one is called as the crust, crust crust. There are two types of crust: continental crust and oceanic crust. So you can see how the cross section of the earth looks like. There are three concentric layers, which I will explain quite shortly. So there is something called the outermost and the thinnest layer of the earth is called the crust, and the crust is of two types: continental crust and oceanic crust. The portion of the crust that is not submerged underwater and that is visible land, that is what is called as continental crust, which on which various continents like Asia, Africa, America, and etc. found. That's why it is called as continental crust, not submerged underwater. But underneath the ocean water also, the crust is found. Since it is submerged underwater, it is called as oceanic crust. So that is the outermost, thinnest, and the first layer of the earth. Then when you go beyond the crust, you go into the next second layer called as the mantle. The mantle is starting from where the crust ends and going till the beginning of the third layer. So the second layer is the mantle, and then starts the third layer, which is called as the core. The word core means the center. So the central layer is called the core. So the core starts from where the mantle ends and covers the remaining inner portion of the earth. So basically these are the three different layers of the earth. And this is what is inside the earth. Let us look more into various physical properties of these three layers. Let's start with the crust. I told you the crust is the thinnest layer, means its thickness is the least among the three layers. And if you start from the land, the depth of the crust, if you start from the land, the depth of the crust is something 35 kilometers, as I have mentioned here as well, 35 kilometers. But if you start from the ocean floor, from that starting point, if you start from the ocean floor, it is even more thinner. It's only 5 kilometers. It's only 5 kilometers from the ocean floor. So the oceanic crust is even more thinner than the continental crust. The continental crust is at least 35 kilometers of depth, but the oceanic crust is only 5 kilometers of depth. So you can understand now how thin the crust is in comparison to the other two layers. And then the crust, I told you about continental crust and oceanic crust. You understood that concept already. It's just that, the continental part of the crust, which is not submerged underwater, and the submerged part of the crust under the ocean, and that's basically how this continental crust and oceanic crust is classified. And continental crust is called by another name. It is SiAl, Sial. Why is it called as Sial? Because the leading or the large presence of certain elements like silica and alumina is found in the continental crust here, in the continental crust. Silica and alumina, so they use the starting two words of that, or SiAl, Sial. So Sial is another name of the continental crust, whereas oceanic crust is called as Sima, 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 because silica and magnesium is what is found in majority in the oceanic crust. So that is how these two names are used as secondary names to the continental crust and the oceanic crust. So that's about crust. Now let's go to the mantle. The mantle starts from where the crust ends, and from the depth of 35 to 2,900 kilometers here. From 35 to 2,900 kilometers is the layer called the mantle. And so from 35 to 2,900 kilometers is the depth where mantle, the second layer, is found. And the mantle is the intermediary layer, the middle layer between the innermost layer and the outermost layer. And the mantle is in proportion, or in percentage wise, as well as the layer that consumes the largest space is the mantle when you compare the other two layers. So the mantle can further be divided into upper mantle and lower mantle, but for your 7th standard level. It's not discussed in the textbook, so I'm not going deep into that. So that's the second layer, and let's go to the third layer, which is the core, the third layer. The core, from the depth of 2,900 kilometers to 6,370 kilometers is where the core is found. So to the central point, uh, from 2,900, from the depth of 2,900 kilometers to the central point of the earth, uh, or in other words 2,900 kilometers to 6,370 kilometers is where the core is found. The radius of the core is 3,500 kilometers. So from the central point to 3,500 kilometers is the radius of the core. So beyond 3,500 kilometers, the mantle starts. So that is the radius of the core. So you can use from this depth to this point, or the radius also, you can understand that. So totally from the land to the innermost part of the earth, it covers 6,371 kilometers in your textbook, and this is one less in this picture. So that is the total radius of the earth. So that's the total radius of the earth, 6,371 kilometers. But the radius of the core is 3,500 kilometers. So you can now understand how deep the inner layers of the earth are found. So some interesting facts about these three different layers of the earth, or about the earth at large. So we humans have succeeded to dig deep for mining diamonds and other minerals. The deepest uh, hole or excavation that we have made so far uh, is the depth of 4 kilometers in some diamond mine of South Africa, or maybe a gold mine, I don't know. But that's 4 kilometers of depth that they have dug under the, or beneath the surface of the earth. But we know that to find petroleum, many engineers drill holes into the petroleum reserves in the inside the ocean, as well as, or on the ocean floor, as well as in some on the river basins and all. So from the ocean floor, a depth of 6 kilometers, a hole of 6 kilometers have been drilled. That is the maximum depth which we have gone. So together, if you see 4 plus 6, we have only succeeded to go 10 kilometers of depth in a form of a hole, or digging the crust and understanding. So that's the depth which we have been able to achieve so far. But remaining 6,360 kilometers of depth is there for us, which we could not succeed to understand what's there. We could not even dig that deep. We could not even go close to anything near. We could not even go till the starting of the mantle. That depth is also impossible in today's day. We don't have any technologies and scientific capacities at this point of time to reach that kind of a depth. So but then we still study about the inner parts of the earth, as I told, through seismic waves or certain types of waves, and how it deflects and reflects. That's how scientists have learned what's inside the earth. Now another interesting thing about these three layers is the crust is only 1% of the total layer of the earth, or other two layers of the earth, and then 84% is the mantle. So mantle consumes the most space, then 15% the core. So that's in percentage. If you see what occupies how much space, that's about these three layers. So that is an introductory session on the inner layers of the earth, or the different layers of the earth. So with that, we are winding up this part. So Thank you so much, and meet you next time. And we will cover the remaining portion of this chapter. Thank you so much.